Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I'll wait for you guys to come on. Hey, Miss Clara, how are you doing, ma'am? Hey, Miss Keisha, how are you doing? Hi, Miss Michelle. How are you? Good evening. Welcome tonight. Hey, Just Be Real. How are you doing? Just Be Real. Can I ask you a favor? I'm doing fine, Miss Clara. Hi, Miss Jackson. Hi, Soaring Feather. Miss Soaring Feather. Hey, Zach. How are you? Miss Just Be Real and Miss Soaring Feather. Can I ask you two a favor? Hey, Miss Lynette. Hey, Tehar. How are you? Oh, Miss TMG won't be here this evening. Would you two do me the honors and be my moderators? Is that okay with you guys? So you guys can throw some narcissists off so I can stay focused. If you're willing to do that, you guys will be permanent moderators. If that's okay with you guys. Hey, Miss is Arlisa. Hi, Miss Shirley, my diva. Mama diva. Hey there, Miss Marie. How are you doing? Hold on, I got you, Miss Sornfeather. Give me just a second. There you go. You are now a moderator, Soaring Feather. Hey, Miss Dina, how are you? Good evening, everybody. Just be you be honored. Okay, give me just a second. Just be real. Hey, Leo. Okay, you two are now Just Be Real and Soaring Feather. Hi, Riri. You guys are moderators. So anytime someone comes on, a troll or anything like that, um, you can't. Hey, Red. Oh, you're Michelle. Okay. Hey, Mr. Suds. Hey, well, welcome first time. Thank you so much for joining me. So Soaring Feather and Just Be Real, you guys are now moderators. So if any trolls come on, when you go on and you block them, they'll be blocked. Guten Tag from Australia. It's Helly. How are you doing, Nadia? Oh, thank you. I didn't get the big lashes this time. They ran out. Trying to deal with this time change. I know, right? I woke up thinking it was one time. It caught me. It got me. How are you guys doing this evening? Oh, good morning, Miss Maria. Good morning. How do we do? How do we do? Oh, okay. So just be real. What happens is if anybody comes on and they're trolls, like if they're saying, disrespectful things, or some of them will get on and start mocking you guys, or they'll just say crazy stuff. If you click on their name, it'll give you the opportunity to block them. You can block them and then hide them from the channel. How you do? Okay. So if someone comes on the channel and they're being disrespectful, just read the comments. You get to read the comments, and if anybody comes on and they're yes, ma'am, they do have daylight saving time. So for both of you, someone comes on, they're being disrespectful, if they're mocking you, sometimes they just say crazy stuff, or they'll ask me stupid questions. When I say stupid questions, I don't mean questions are stupid. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes you'll notice that the questions that they're asked, they're disrespectful. So all you have to do is just tap on it, and it'll give you the opportunity to block them and hide them from the channel. So you guys have the freedom to do that, and that'll keep everybody focused so no one feels disrespected. And sometimes they're mocking you guys as you're talking. So you'll know it when they come on. You'll see it. So how's everyone doing? Thank you guys so much for joining me. Have you guys been enjoying the videos? So Red, your name is Michelle. Okay, Michelle. I can never get a close. Let me look. Hold on, let me grab. Well, I'm too far away to grab my glasses. Let me see if I can grab my glasses. Okay. Just read that little tiny picture. And thank you so much for volunteering, you guys. I really appreciate you guys. I won't take you off. So you guys, you three, TMG, you guys are my moderators. So whenever I come on live, you guys are always welcome to delete anybody you need to delete. Miss Michelle, I saw your picture before. Let me look. I saw another picture of you. You are very pretty. All you guys on here are very handsome, very beautiful people. I just want you guys to know that. We don't have any scrubs on here, huh? And if you are, we're going to embrace you and love you anyway. So have you guys been enjoying the videos? Have you guys been getting something out of the videos? So Mr. Zach said at outlook.com, just tell me, let me know that it's okay to forward her. Send me your email, and I will put the list together. I'm going to send it to her, okay? You're so welcome, Red. He said videos keeps me motivated. You're so welcome. I'm so honored. Hey, Miss Sharice. Is it Sheer? Hold on. Okay, is it? Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, I don't want to mess your name up. It looks like Shears. If you'll spell it out for me, I'll make sure I say it right. I don't want to mess your name up. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And like I said, hopefully you guys, thank you so much. Thank you guys for supporting me. And thank you so much for coming on from Dallas. Uh-oh. Hey there, Miss Priscilla. How are you? I got family in Dallas. They're helpful. Thank you, Miss Jackson. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh, Sharice. Okay, Sharice. I don't want to mess you. I don't want you to be mad at me and then leave the channel. Miss Sharice. So hopefully you guys have been getting something out of these videos. I am so honored. Thank you guys. Okay, so let's go through our languages. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, was it misspelled on your birth certificate? Because I know some people that thought their name was one thing until they looked. But that is a pretty name, Sharice. So they misplaced the I. That's what it was. Okay. Ooh, excuse me. Love, peace, and abundance. Blessings towards you and your work. Oh, thank you so much. I am so honored. Thank you so much. You're in Dallas too? Miss Shirley, is this my diva? Or is this a different Miss Shirley? Someone messed. Oh, they did? Keep teaching. Oh, thank you so much, Miss Clara. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let me situate myself. A little tiny chair. Let me get my shirt right. Okay, there we go. Oh, is you okay? Well, Miss Shirley, I got family in Dallas. So I go to Dallas quite often. Well, not really quite often. That's a lie. But I do go to Dallas. From Philly. Okay. Let me think. Where's my brother? No, he's no longer in Philly. He's in Jersey. So he is in Jersey. Alabama. Okay, wait a minute. Aslama. Okay, I said Alabama. Aslama. Okay, Mr. Tehar, is Aslama hello? Aslama. Hey, Miss Vicky, how are you doing, ma'am? Such a pleasure. Thank you, guys. Okay, let me run through my languages. Okay, hola, heli. I know that's Australia. Heli, aslama, bonjour, oi, hallo, good dog, service, Christi, Germany, hello, Christi. Let me think. What else? Hola, bonjour, heli, hallo, oi, annyeonghaseyo, namaste. That's right, namaste. Let's look. Did I miss anything? I think I said the ones that I know. Bonjour. Hello, Miss Julie. How are you? You said, Miss Cherie said, I'm on the wait list for therapy, watching all your videos. I probably won't have anything to talk about. Oh, wow. See you at the end of this month in Dallas. Your videos are helping me. You know what? Greetings from Tennessee. Oh, Tennessee. So you guys, I don't think I'll be making it to Dallas. My schedule and my mentor schedule has kind of caught up with us a little bit. So I apologize. I might not make it to Dallas. I really wanted to come, and I apologize. Schedules, conflicting schedules, and so I am so sorry, you guys. But don't worry, we will meet. We will meet each other. What if we did something here in Seattle? Would you guys come to Seattle? If we did something here in Seattle, how many people were willing to come to Seattle? You said, for some reason, the stream glitched for me at the exact moment you named off your Outlook account. Could you run? Oh, sure. No problem. You're not being a pest. Thank you so much. Is beginning back memories. R. Kelly is beginning back memories. Explain that to me. At my email is dr. So if you look at my name as Dr. Carmen Bryant, put that all together. It's drcarmenbryant at outlook.com. So it's my name, Dr. Carmen Bryant at outlook.com. Hi there. How are you guys doing? Hey there, Mr. Tim. How are you? G Day is Australian slang. Okay. Is it G Day? It's Australian slang for hello. That's what I'm talking about. Well, you guys want to start? Let me start by giving you guys words of encouragement. Let me give you guys some words of encouragement. Many of you guys have been through, and you guys think of your questions, okay? But many of you guys have been through domestic violence, which is the narcissist abuse, and many of you guys have expressed how painful it is. You have to remember that hello, Gaelic for hello, and Scottish. Okay, is it hello? Give me the alpha if you can like spell it out so I know how to pronounce it. I don't know if it's hallo, because I know in German is hallo, and in I think Danish is good dog, and then in Netherlands I think is hallo. So I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. But many of you guys have been through narcissist abuse, and a lot of you have expressed how painful this is. Hit the like button. Thank you. Thank you so much. And you know, a lot of you are now realizing that this was not a normal relationship. No problem. Please do email me. Thank you so much for your resources. You really helped me heal and educate myself after the discard. Keep up the, hold on, let me see it faded. Keep up the fantastic work. Oh, thank you, Mr. Zach. I really appreciate you, King. Thank you so much. But many of you guys have been through narcissist abuse, and you're finding out now. I mean, that's one of the hardest relationship you have ever been through in your life. First of all, because it was not a normal relationship. And number one, it was not a relationship. You were the only one who was in the relationship. It was a one-sided relationship. Narcissists do not, narcissists, hold on, Miss Shirley, I'm gonna answer you. Hold on, Miss Sharice, I'm gonna read that. But now you realize that you were the only one in the relationship, and to break up from a normal relationship, you know, you hurt, your feelings are hurt, you know. Ooh, okay, halloo. Okay, halloo. But it's not a normal relationship. And so you guys are realizing, you know, when you've gotten with a narcissist, you've gotten with a person that like released almost like spurs. If any of you guys, and hopefully none of you guys have, but if you have known anyone, hey there, Nut Kelly. But if any of you guys have known someone or even have been through chemotherapy or, you know, cancer or anything like that, you know, chemotherapy, even though it's supposed to damage your immune system, it does damage good cells as well. Chemotherapy and radiation. You got to remember that, you know, being with a narcissist is like damaging your system. And so, you know, when people come off of radiation and cancer treatment, a lot of times their immune systems are weak, and it takes a while to build the immune system back up. You know, there are people that go into more holistic type living, you know, eating raw. Some people go vegan. You know, the diets also help kill the cancer cell because they're not feeding the cancer cells. But you know, when people come out of a narcissistic relationship, you have cancer 3 times. Wow. 15 years in remission. Go ahead, Miss Nadia. That's what I'm talking about. But you know how much damage radiation and chemotherapy can do to your system. And that's just like getting out of a relationship with a narcissist. There's a lot of damage that has happened in your system. And anytime you've had that much damage done to your system, your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit, you know, it's like, I mean, the recovery process is not fast. Some people want the recovery process to happen quickly. But just like after being treated for cancer, your body has to recover. You know, your body has to heal. You know, you have to change your eating habit. You have to change your entire life, you know, to adjust to what has happened to you in this narcissistic relationship. And so the same thing with cancer, you know, so don't rush the process. You know, don't rush the process. Your immune system has been broken down. Your mind has been broken down. Your emotions have been broken down. Everything to them is about supply and fuel. You know, people don't matter to them. You know, people just don't matter to them. They're empty holes. They just black empty holes that can never be filled, you know. So let's go back. Let's look at Miss Shirley's question. Let me go back, okay? Ms. Shirley said, do they understand how they are hurting you, or is it just that they don't care getting fuel? So it doesn't matter who they have to hurt, or it doesn't matter what they have to do to get what they want. They're going to get what they want, despite your feelings or anything else. It doesn't matter to them. Your feelings does not matter, because they are self-absorbed. They cannot look inside of themselves. They cannot look within to try to even to, I mean, they can't look within to see how they're hurting people. That it doesn't, is irrelevant to them. All they care about is how they get fuel, where they get fuel. They want what they want, and if you don't give it to them, they'll do whatever, like little kids having a temper tantrum to get what they want. So it's not that they don't focus on whether they're hurting you or not. It doesn't matter to them. Even your pain is fuel to them. It makes them feel empowered. It makes them feel strong. Ms. Cherie said the ex has narc-like tendency. I tried no contact unsuccessfully. I didn't get narc rage and etc. But ghost definitely lack of accountability. Recently, the narc-like human has apologized for past issues but wants to remain friends. I battle emotionally with that. Your best bet, Sharice, to totally heal from that is to go no contact. Think about it. If a person really, cared, they wouldn't have done what they did to you in the first place. Why would you want to go back into a toxic relationship like that when you already see, they've told you how they don't value you. They don't value you whatsoever. If you got a friend like that, what kind of enemy do you think? If you got friends like that, you don't need an enemy. If they don't have any value for you, they're not going to value you. And why stick to someone that has no value for you whatsoever? So if he doesn't have any value, or she doesn't have any value for you, but they've already told you what they think about you, so they've already told you what they think about you. Let's look. So if I miss your question, just repost it, okay? Because I don't want to, because a lot of times you guys talk so fast that I can't scroll all the way up and I don't miss anything, okay? Morning, everyone tuning in from Miami, Florida. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Tony. Stay high vibe and in a grateful state of mind. Go ahead. An empty cup with no bottom. Bam. There you go, Miss Nicole. Good depiction. Thank you, everyone. Not easy when you get cancer at ages 22, 24, 26. Wow. Sarcoma cancer and 1 melanoma. Wow. You are a living testimony. Mr. Suds, doctor, I would not open it, just shred. Okay, I missed it. I missed that one. Give your mind, body, and soul a chance to heal. Right. Don't rush into the process. Don't rush the process, but process through and out to be healthy and restored. This comes from Riri. I developed kidney stones and I have 2 surgeries since January from dealing with my narc. He told me I deserve what I'm going through. I'm in no contact for a month now. Wow. I was vegan 10 years before narc and he convinced me to stop, and I've been sick ever since. Wow. You see, they're no good for you. Happy and healed is birthright to be happy, successful, and fulfilled. That's right, Miss Nicole. Wow. See, I did a video where I was talking about, and I'm going to do another one. I did one a while ago. It didn't have very many views at the time. I didn't have very many people on there, but I talked about post-traumatic stress and complex post-traumatic stress. And I think because I have so many videos on there, it doesn't, another video, I'm go back and redo another video on post-traumatic stress and complex post-traumatic stress. When you are traumatized, you have, in the brain is the frontal cortex, the frontal lobe. And in the frontal lobe, you have your emotions. A lot of times when we're traumatized, we don't really realize how much our brain absorbs, how much our body absorbs, the limbic system. The brain stores your trauma. And especially in like the emotional part, in the personality part. Your brain has been affected by trauma. Your brain has been affected by trauma. And then on top of that, when you have post-traumatic stress, and most people coming out of these relationships have post-traumatic stress or complex post-traumatic stress. And what ends up happening is that you're constantly being triggered. And whenever you're triggered, that fight, flight, or freeze, those chemicals that cause that fight, flight, or freeze is activated. Every time you're anxious, when they come around, you hear their voice, is activated. And all that adrenaline pumping into your system is telling your body that you need to do something. So it's preparing your body to fight, to flight, to run or to freeze, like the deer that freeze in a row, they get so scared they freeze. And I talked about a hunter friend that I had back in the day, and he said from Alabama, and he said, Carmen, you don't ever want to shoot a deer while they're running and they're scared, because when you shoot a deer while they're running, the meat is tough. So that adrenaline is pumping. And so when that deer sees, that's why they tell you not to shoot the deer once he's spooked, because all that adrenaline is pumping into that deer, and the meat gets tough. And he said it changes the flavor of the meat because the meat is tough, the adrenaline, so it's almost like a little bitter. And so you want to catch the deer off guard. Well, that's the same thing with people. That adrenaline is pumping, and it's taking away the major blood flow to the major flow. The blood slows down pumping into your major organs, and it goes into your muscles because you need that extra strength, or that extra strength to run. And what happens is, though, is that if you're constantly in a heightened state of anxiety, you'll tear down your immune system. Think about it, all that adrenaline pumping and not enough blood getting to your major organs. That's why many people end up with cancer. They end up with, fibromyalgia. They end up with migraine headaches. There's always some kind of health issue. It's like, you look sickly, you feel sickly all the time. But that's because of the fact that the immune system is being broken down. It's too much adrenaline pumping, and you have to learn how to relax. You have to get to counseling, get to a good trauma specialist, or get to I can't say a lot because I don't know a whole lot in my area. There are trauma professionals out there that can work with you to teach you coping skills, to teach you how to relax and calm down. So for those that, when you look for a therapist, if they don't understand narcissist abuse, find one that understands domestic violence, find someone that understands, trauma, and then use those coping skills, use what they're telling you to calm yourself down. Focus on that, calming yourself down, and getting coping skills, and just listen to the videos. You can search around for a therapist that understands narcissist abuse. Excuse me, a lot of them don't. So they just place it in the same level as domestic violence. But narcissist abuse is very, very unique in itself. Very unique in itself. Miss Marie said, thank you. They make you ill. Since no contact, I have been in the hospital with pains and operations. It just goes to show there is definitely something in this. Yes, it is. Your immune system has been tore up. They get into your system. Hey, Apostle, how are you doing? But your immune system is literally affected by the adrenaline that's pumping that anxiety. If you're in a constant state of anxiety, some women lose hair. You're losing hair. Definitely migraines, but they have gotten so much better the more I'm physically away. See, your body begins to heal itself. Hi, Erica, how are you? How is a narcissist romance relationship the same signs and symptoms as a narcissist friendship? A narcissist is a narcissist. Hi, Lyd. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Well, number one, a narcissist romance, narcissist, both of them want supply. So whatever way they can get supply, they're going to get supply. So a narcissist is a narcissist. A narcissist romance, they may include sex. Sex may be included, and you could be the primary source. You may not be the primary source, but even in a friendship, it's the exact same thing. The exact same thing. They want supply. Hi, Miss Melinda. How are you? They want supply. That's all they want. And even in a friendship, it doesn't matter whether it's almost, let me tell you, they act like they're in a relationship with you and not a friendship. Apostle said the thing with that, you have to be careful that many want to place you in pharmaceutical medicines that have nothing to do with your issue. Absolutely. Absolutely. She said the thing that you have to be careful is that many want to place you on pharmaceutical medicines that have nothing to do with your issue. Exactly. You guys got to be careful. And I'm not against medicines. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I'm doing great. Thank you, Miss Melinda. I'm not against medicine, but you guys have to remember that sometimes people over medicate. There are some med providers that just over medicate and you become just toxic. If you find that the nurses that I used to work with, I really liked her. She gives you the bare, when I say bare minimum, I don't mean bare minimum where you can't function, but minimum where it deals with just particular issues. Some med providers, they over medicate. And when they over medicate, they're giving you all these medications for depression, all these medications for anxiety. But what happens is you'll mess around and it's called serotonin overload. So it'll literally feel like you're like going crazy. Basically, the medicine will make you feel like you're going crazy, and it's not you, it's the medicine. So you guys be very, very careful and just have the bare minimum of medication and just take it as needed. Benzodiazepines, which is like Clonopin and Xanax and things like that, are not meant to be used long term. There are many people I'm working with that are going through withdrawal symptoms, and it's really bad. It's really bad for them. It's almost like the anxiety is worse coming off of the benzodiazepine. So please be careful. I'm seeing many come into our programs like that. I believe it, and a lot of them are actually addicted to the medication. So you got to be careful because you're coming out of a bad situation. Now you're addicted to the medication, and so a lot of them, a lot of to be careful. Benzodiazepines are not Xanax, Clonopin. There's some other ones. Those are not meant to be used for long term to treat anxiety. And it also recommends when you're dealing with post traumatic stress, you don't want to use benzodiazepine because it also masks other symptoms. And so be very careful, you guys, at who your med providers are. There are so many. There are also many mental health practitioners who lack training surrounding trauma informed care. Absolutely, you're right. Absolutely, and that's something I think. Hi, Miss Vanessa. I think that's what all mental health providers need. They need trauma informed training because sometimes they say the wrong things. They say the wrong things to traumatize people. They say the wrong things. They're not sensitive to people that have been through trauma. All trauma is not the same either. All trauma is not the same either. You said benzo is crazy stuff. I've heard bad things about it. Yeah. See, benzodiazepine are meant to treat short term things like say for example, if you have a fear of flying and you have panic attacks, and so benzo they may give you like maybe two of them, 2 or 3 of them just for the purpose of flying. Or if you get severe panic attacks when you do public speaking, they may give you something. Hey there, Miss Felicia. But they may give you something, for that. It's meant for short term, is quick, short term for something specific. Is not meant when you have anxiety disorders, is not meant to treat anxiety disorders. That's when you get into more SSRIs, NIs, but more long term that deals with your serotonin and dopamine levels. And so in a slow release that helps mellow you out. But the advice given by all professionals that provide medicines is for you to get into counseling, because some people just take medicine and think they're supposed to be healed. It doesn't happen that way. The medicine is supposed to help you, to level out while you're seeking mental health services. Most of you guys that have been traumatized, it may take a little while in counseling, but you can recover from it where eventually you don't need any medication. No, you're not late, Miss Angel, Miss Angel Grace. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hi, Miss Shirley. How are you? Oh, love you too. Thank you so much. I'm honored. I'm good with Benadryl and Tylenol. And they also, for some people that go through anxiety, sometimes what you want to ask is to, try to find, how do they say it? Benadryl is something that they prescribe for anxiety as well, believe it or not, or not hydrocortisone, hydroxyzine, which is used for like allergies. Hydroxyzine is medication that is used for allergies, which is a antihistamine, which is the same as Benadryl. A lot of times, I also see a lot of times prescriptions for that where they give them something simple, something that's not so addictive or anything, just to calm them down to help people sleep. Red said, hold on, where'd you go, Red? And please get a massage and body work. The muscles and connective tissues hold trauma that will keep you in a pattern of but yes, yes, yes. You guys find ways to relax. Find things. Go out to dinner. Go get a massage. Go get your feet done. Get your nails done. Get your hair done. Do something. Do something to relax. You have to find something to relax. You have been in a traumatized state. You've been in a high level of anxiety. So you have to find ways to relax. Different coping skills. Ms. Jackson said, help me to understand why my sister will hire an ex-narc friend that I told her betrayed me in an awful, hold on, in an awful way. I cried my heart out to her several times about the betrayal. Well, Miss Jackson, what if your sister might have some narcissistic tendencies? Or what if your sister could care less and doesn't mind you hurting or don't believe you? Because remember, narcissists, they don't, the way you see them is not the way another person sees them. So that what they reveal to you, you train them on how to be. And so the way that you see them is the way that you train them, the way that you told them to be with you. Now, when they get with someone else, that person trains them to how they're going to be around them. And so, what if your sister doesn't see what you saw? Because that's not what they're going to present. Now it's kind of sad that your sister wouldn't be on your side, but it is what it is. Mr. Suds said, hydroxyzine doesn't work for anxiety. You feel like you have a hangover the next day. Yeah, some people do say that. You're right. And some people say it makes them really, really sleepy all day long. Well, there you go. If your sister's a narcissist, then she did it on purpose to hurt you. Shirley said, hold on, let's see what the question was. Can I ask you a question? Sure. I may be off your subject, but how do you know when you encountered a male narcissist? Shirley, you got to watch my videos. That's a long topic. Somebody asked me on here, I'm gonna do a video, and I think it's a very good topic. If you guys recall, HG Tudor, he talks about the low grade, mid grade, and the greater narcissist. And so if you've been watching my videos, I did a video, Shirley, on how to tell if you're in a narcissistic relationship. And if you're being, if you're being abused by a narcissist, go watch that video. You watch that video, I give you some signs and symptoms and how to recognize a narcissist. But I'm also going to talk about, the low grade, the mid grade, and the high or the greater narcissist. And I'm going to talk about that in detail. So you guys, but I've always said over and over again, even me as a mental health professional, I sit and I diagnose, every time I get clients, I do diagnosis. So I do assessment and diagnosis, and I do computerized testing, and I put together a psychological assessment, a psychological they call it mental health assessment. They call it psychological assessment. But I do a complete mental health. Hey, Ernest, but I do a complete mental health assessment. And when I when I do that complete mental health assessment, a lot of times dealing with a narcissist, it doesn't come up on the testing. It's not as obvious as people think it is. Even the low grade narcissist becomes obvious when you're working with them, when they can't get their way because they don't have any patience. They don't have self-control when it comes to emotional self-control. They don't have self-control. And so for me, because I teach about it all the time, I can pick up on some of that. But there are some that are mid-grade, and I have not met the greater one in my office. They're very calculative. They think, they think all the time, and so their whole thing is a game. So a lot of them, you'll notice that you may get a lot of compliments. You may notice that they always have something nice to say. You'll notice that they're very focused on you. Your hair is very pretty. I really like your dress. I like your shoes. I like your earrings. They always watch it when they over compliment. Pay attention to that. But a lot of times it takes me a minute to catch a narcissist in my office. A lot of times it doesn't come. It's not that easy to catch them. And the more they are up on the spectrum of narcissism, the harder it gets to catch them unless you're focused. But if you haven't learned, or if you're not learning from the videos, then you guys can't see that clear over on YouTube. I'm sorry. But a lot of times it's not that easy to catch, Miss Shirley. Sometimes it's not that easy to catch. Let's see. Gabapentin is another drug that is causing zombie effect and making them act out in rage. It was created for the nervous system and rejected by the farm industry, then brought back for mental health. The funny thing about gabapentin is used for people that have diabetic nerve pain, and is also used when people complain of when they have back issues, and they treat like for nerve pain for some, and is almost intoxicating. You get addicted to gabapentin as well. The problem with gabapentin is that if you miss a dose or you start coming off, you'll literally begin to have like misfires in your brain where people you have like that nerve, like your nerves just, it's almost like a shock wave that goes through your brain. So gabapentin, and then I started noticing, like you said, then I started noticing they started using it for mental health. They started using it for I want to say for anxiety. I'm not sure, but gabapentin, I don't like the effects of gabapentin. I really don't. It's bad. And then the withdrawals or being addicted to it is even worse. And for some people, it doesn't even help. Yeah, sciatic nerve, sciatic nerve. Gabapentin was used for sciatic nerve. It was used for it was originally used for like diabetic nerve pain. I remember I was given it. I didn't like it. It made me sleepy all the time. Vanessa said March 29th is 3-month anniversary of 100% no contact. I discarded via text. That's what I'm talking about. I'm glad this is being shared. I have been seeing so much that made me become a holistic nutritionist. So those of you that are in the Washington, maybe King County area, if you look over on my Facebook page, this is Apostle Sabrina Edwards. She's a holistic nutritionist. If you guys are interested in that, you can go over to my Facebook page, and if it's okay, they can inbox you and maybe talk to you. Jersey checking in. That's what I'm talking about. Hey there. Hey there. So Shirley said, I'm talking to a guy that I'm interested in, and his wife left him for a narc female. And we have been talking about both of our relationships. And during the time we've been around each other and interested in each other, I've been there for him. But even in being there for him, he's been devaluing me by throwing things we talked about in my face. And once is out, it's back to normal, saying if he didn't care, he wouldn't be around. Surely, but what if his wife wasn't a narcissist? Says everything that the narcissist is, when they come to you, they're always the victim. They're always the victim. And so when they're hoovering new supply, when they're love bombing new supply, everything that they did to the old supply, they will tell you that the old supply did it to them. So you got to be careful, because there's a possibility based on what you're saying, it may not have been the, let me see, you said his wife left him for a narc female. But he may have been, if she was attracted to a narc female, he may have been a narcissist himself. So surely I would advise you to be very careful, because it sounds like if he's devaluing you and you're noticing this, it's a possibility that he's the narcissist, and he's always going to make the ex-wife look bad, but you don't know why she left. You have no idea why she left. It could be because he was the narcissist. Hey, Pastor Zachary, how are you doing, sir? Let's see. Why don't narcs move on? Let's see. Ms. Ellie said, why don't narcs move on no matter how long since I've discarded him in July last summer? Question, why do they continue to hoover you even when being in another relationship? Ms. Ellie, I hate to say this, but with a narcissist, you belong to them for life. And if you were the primary supply in their minds, you're theirs forever. So they always, it doesn't matter if it's 6 years from now, if it's 6 years from now, they always think that you are theirs. Always, always. And so in your mind, you know that you're free and you have nothing to do with them. But to them, you're always there. Hey, Mr. Nate, how are you, sir? Yeah, exactly. Miss Vanessa here said fuel. Yeah, you are fuel. So they hoover when they don't have. Well, good Abend, Ursula. How are you? But you, yeah, you are fuel. And if you were a good supply, they'll always try to hoover and get back in. They play victim. Yeah, they always play victim. Let's see. What was the question over here? I missed it. I'm sorry. So can a narc suffer from anxiety, stress, and lose weight when they discard? When they discard? Well, number one, you have to remember a narcissist is a personality disorder. And so a lot of times narcissists deal with post-traumatic stress. Because remember, they've been traumatized. Somewhere in their developmental stages, they have been traumatized. So 9 times out of 10, you'll find narcissists, they have major depressive disorder, they have post-traumatic stress, they deal with anxiety, they deal with some of the same, some of them are autistic, some of them, let me think, have other issues going on. You know, they do eating disorders, addictions. And so, so yeah, they can have, but when they, so if you discard them and they didn't have another supply to attach to too quick, yeah, they'll suffer. They'll suffer anxiety because it's a narc injury, and so their anxiety is not the anxiety that you left them. The anxiety is I don't have anybody to attach. I don't have any fuel. They have to have fuel. Hello, just Queenie, that they have to have fuel. A narcissist will die without fuel. It's just like an insulin injection. They always have to have fuel. They cannot survive without fuel all the time. They always have fuel, always. You are the primary supply. So in that narcissist mind, Miss Ellie, you're always his, always, forever, till the day you die. To the day you die, in that narcissist mind, you are always his, and he will hoover you whenever he wants to. You can move on and you can be with someone else. They'll still, in their mind, you are still their supply. Now, I used to get bothered by that, but I thought about it. I'm like, okay, that's in your mind. That's not in my mind. You see what I mean? And so if that's in their mind, that's not in your mind. You have to move on and stay no contact and stay safe. They think whatever they want to. They think they're God's gift in this world anyway. So, they have a dysfunctional mind and a dysfunctional thought process anyway. And so yeah, so he in his mind, he has the right to hoover you whenever he wants to. So they choose to be bitter instead of seeking help. They don't choose to be bitter, they just are bitter. They're angry. If you pull the mask away from a narcissist, whatever age that they were traumatized is the age that they are. And the thing is that they're angry, they're jealous, they're full of rage. This is the true narcissist. It's not what you see. It's the true narcissist. So let me admit something to you, and maybe this will open your eyes to my situation better. She left him for my ex, which was a narcissist. But you got to be careful, because if she's attracted to a narcissist, he may have still been a narcissist, though, Shirley. And even though you got close to him, he still may be because some of the things that you're telling me, just the little signs that you're giving me, is showing me that there's a possibility he may have been a narcissist. And if she didn't heal and she left for your ex-narcissist, then there's a possibility he may be a narcissist. You got to be careful, okay? You said, this is so sad, sounding very demonic. Yep, I agree with you. Tomorrow will be 1 year I've seen, it disappeared. Sorry about that, you guys. Tomorrow will be 1 year since I've seen X, but she's still trying to contact me. Phone calls, Valentine cards. She tagged a picture of me and posted that she's in a relationship with me on Facebook. Don't respond to her. What you have to do is you have to starve her of fuel. Don't respond, But what you may want to do, though, Mr. Suggs, is you may have to block her on Facebook. When you go no contact, it means no contact in everything. Block them. Take them off of your social media, whatever you can possibly do, block them. Don't entertain it. Don't let them tag you for nothing. She's married now, so it lets you know what type of person she is. What you need to do is block her from social media. Don't let her contact you. Don't entertain it. Don't read any of her messages, nothing. Get her out your system. Miss Shirley said, my ex always sending me Bible scriptures. I just don't respond at all. You need to block him too. You need to get him. You need to block him too. Yeah, starve and ignore. Mr. says, yeah, you need to just block her on social media. Let her starve herself. He's sending you scriptures. You know what? Yeah, you don't respond at all. That just, yeah, it's starving him of fuel. You were the major primary source of supply. So you were the best. He'll never find supply like you ever again, Miss Shirley. And no matter how much they search, they won't find the supply. That's why they always hoover back to that primary source, especially if it was long term. Hey, Mr. Nate, how are you doing, sir? Block the flying monkeys too, 100%. Yes, flying monkeys. Those, excuse me, their entourage. Block their entourage. My ex-narc married and specifically told me, you're with me for life. See? You see how they think? See? In their minds, you're theirs for life. You belong to them for life. So anytime they want to hoover you, that's what they'll do. They'll come and have a conversation with you like you and them been friends for years, and you haven't talked to them for years. Reason I don't block is because of the children. Oh, got it. But what does he need? I mean, but your kids are grown, Miss Shirley. If your kids are grown, your kids can communicate with them. He don't have to communicate. They're grown, right? If they're grown, there's no reason for him not to communicate with you, period. Miss Dainty said, how would you know the difference between a narc tendency and a full-blown narc? They say when you leave a relationship with a narc, the empathy usually questions if they are the narc. Yeah, you know what? A lot of people on here who have been discarded by a narcissist begin to question whether it was a narcissist or not. And usually they're probably a narcissist. So narcissistic tendency, you can have they can have narcissistic tendencies, but they still have the capacity. They have empathy and compassion. Sometimes, though, like we talked about on other videos, sometimes you can confuse narcissistic personality disorder with other disorders. For example, bipolar disorder, when they're in a manic episode, it looks just like narcissism. But with bipolar, when they come back out of the manic episode and go into depressive episodes, those, the 3 to 4 days, then the narcissistic, like the narcissist, the what you would think is narcissist, it levels back out. You don't see it anymore. So that's bipolar. So you can they may have bipolar tendencies, but that's only in a shortened, but you'll see that they can go in and out. A narcissist is a narcissist and won't change. They are narcissists and they will not change. And you just have to listen to the videos and look at the traits. There's certain traits that they have. And I'll talk about that. We'll go back to the diagnosis, narcissistic personality disorder. I'll do one on the diagnosis to tell you the difference between the narcissistic tendencies or traits versus will have 5 out of 9 symptoms to qualify them under the DSM-5, which is the manual that we use to diagnose, that diagnoses them as narcissistic personality disorder. Even though most of you guys that are on here are not, even though most of you guys are not mental health professionals, it's not, you're not gonna be able to diagnose, you're not in a clinical setting, but you can pick up on traits. You can pick up on traits, and you'll know. Thank you, just being real. Smelly feet need to go somewhere. Okay, let's look. Let's look. So Miss Shirley said, "Yes, ma'am. I feel deep down in my heart that he is." Go with your first instinct. Go with your gut instinct, you guys. Okay. When you start having gut instinct or that gut fit, don't dismiss it. See, when you've been in a relationship with a narcissist, you question everything. You question your ability to pick up on things. Because they have broken. It's almost like they broke down your thinker. They've broken down. They've gaslighted you so much that you don't even trust your own self. Surely go with your instinct. If your instinct is telling you that he is, go with your instinct. Go with your gut instinct. His ex keeps telling me that she begs her back. That's probably him. He's hoovering her, but I usually don't believe her because she's my ex. But he's telling me how he is still giving her money because he feels sorry for her. I just don't want to deal with this again. I almost took my life with my ex. I want total happiness. Well, surely connecting to him is not a good thing. If you sense, if you got that you guys have to go with your instinct. Cops go by their instinct. That's how they usually say. I was watching a cop show. I love watching police shows or investigative shows. And there's one guy who's really, really, I can't think of his name. He got a show for himself. He's an older guy. But what he said was, he says, I always go by my instinct. He said, my instinct tells me something. I go and I begin to investigate based off of my instinct. And that's normally how I solve murders, is going by my instinct. Don't ever dismiss your instincts. If your instincts or you got that gut feeling, go with your gut feeling. You've been tore down by a narcissist to make you feel like you can't trust your instinct. Trust your instinct, Shirley. Trust your instinct so you can stay safe. Mr. Nate said, doing great. I've moved out and doing great. We'll be filing for divorce in a few weeks. My health is getting much better. See, you're getting your, trust your gut. See? And you're going to start, the longer you're away from this person, the better you're going to start feeling. The better you start looking, the better your skin start looking, the better your health is. It's time to go to the gym. Go and get pumped up, Mr. Nate. Go and get buffed up. Can you touch on triangulation with exes? Strangely, the exes are still around. I'm the only ex who has been totally cut out. Why is that? Well, probably because he's found another. If you were the primary source, he may have found a primary source. So because he has been able to replace you with a primary source, then you're probably cut out for now. I did do a video on triangulation. I went in detail about it, but they usually triangulate because you guys arguing with each other or fighting with each other gives them fuel. But if you've been cut out and you were the primary source, he probably got a primary source. He probably got a primary source, so you're no longer the primary source. So you've been cut out for now, but be prepared. If things go wrong, they'll hoover you again. So it ain't over, Marie. It's not over. Look at Dr. C's video, a must, Ivana. Thank you, Miss Vanessa. Miss Shirley said, yes, I just try and be cordial for them and the grandchildren. It's been 5 years now. He knows it's a dead horse here. Good. But I mean, really, if you don't really have a lot to talk about, I mean, they're grown. So they can, you can block them as much as you want to. He's still hoovering you, Miss Shirley. Him sending you Bible scriptures and stuff like that, he's still hoovering you. You have to go no contact. You got grown kids. You can talk to your grown kids. He can talk to those grown kids. They can make decisions for themselves. And your grandbabies, you can talk to your kids about your grandbabies. You don't need to include him. They can have their own communication. But your best bet is to cut him off altogether. Well, he can't even, because he's still hoovering you. He's still doing it. Even though you say it's a dead horse. He don't see it the same way you do. He's a narcissist. He don't think the same way you do. So to him, he's still hoovering you. That's how he's hoovering you. And you're allowing him to. It's best to block him off. There's you got grown kids. Let's see. I've also noticed when I told him about the narcissist videos to help him, when he was saying how his wife was, he would never watch them to get better. Shirley, you dealing with a narcissist. Yeah, you dealing with a narcissist. And let's see. Let's look here. What did I miss over here? They want you to doubt your reality to make it easier to bullcrap you. There we go. Let's see. Mr. Tehar said, she and her harem man. I've never heard of harem man before. That's a good one. Her and her harem man, her and her concubine man, keep stalking me. And she made sure wherever I go, she let me know she's watching me. I went total no contact for the last 8 months. Why would she not leave me alone? Because you were the primary source and you belong to her forever. That's how she operates. That's how she operates. You are hers forever. So let me look. Sorry about that, you guys. I don't know what I just did, but sorry about that. Anyway, let's see. Have you ever had an experience or knowledge of a narcissist having two-way conversations with himself, each person speaking to and answering the other? Ms. Cynthia, you might be dealing with a narcissist that also has dissociative disorder. If you have a narcissist that deals with dissociative disorder, then you're dealing with multiple personalities. So he may have another personality disorder. He may have, he or she, I'm sorry, but Cynthia, you might be dealing with a narcissist that also has dissociative disorder, because remember, they've been traumatized in their developmental stages. And even though narcissism is a product of some type of trauma that they've experienced, there's other things, dissociative disorder, also known as back in in the last mental health manuals, it was used to be called multiple personalities. You have to remember that if the trauma was bad enough, their mind could have split, and they may also have multiple personalities or dissociative disorder. So that could be what you're dealing with, not just narcissism. See, sometimes you focus on them just having narcissism from their trauma, but they may have other stuff to go along with it. Why don't they just go on for good? They can't go on for good. They believe everybody that they've ever had contact with, you belong to them. That's how they look. You always will belong to them. How do you get out from under the thumb of a narcissist mother? Go no contact. Go no contact. And I said this before. I know the hardest thing sometimes is to understand that you may come from a toxic family. And some of you that have come from narcissistic families, mothers or fathers, sisters or brother, sometimes, you have to understand, don't ever feel guilty of making sure you take care of yourself. You got to take care of yourself. When you're in an airplane and the stewardess is talking about, in the event that the cabin loses air pressure, there will be the masks that come from the top. Make sure you put the mask on yourself first before helping the person sitting next to you. You have to understand that when you're dealing with, let me go back to the question. When you're dealing with a narcissist, here we go. Where'd you go? Let me find the question again. When you're dealing with a narcissist, if you're dealing with a mother or father or a family member that is narcissist, you have to think of yourself. They're not thinking of you. They don't have any connection with you. So you have to take care of yourself. And sad to say, sometimes when you come out of toxic families, you got to cut your own families off. Because if you're dealing with a narcissistic parent or narcissistic parents, as much as you love them, you've got to have enough love for yourself to preserve yourself. And so sometimes what you end up having to do is you're going to have to disconnect from your own family. I know it's a sad thing to say, and a lot of people feel guilty for having to make that decision because, that's my family. I love my family. But if your family is toxic and you're dealing with a narcissistic parent, you are fuel. You are an appliance. You are a source of fuel. They're not capable of loving and connecting and bonding with you. And so your best bet, I can tell you, is that you may have to make a decision to separate yourself, to protect yourself, to preserve yourself, and to heal. Remember, when the oxygen mask comes down in the airplane, they tell you to put it on your face before you try to help anybody else. How can you help a person that doesn't want to be helped? They don't have a problem being a narcissist. They're not capable of looking at themselves and seeing that they're a narcissist. They're fine the way that they are. Is you the one that has the problem? You put the oxygen mask on yourself to preserve yourself. You got to help yourself, and if you come from a toxic family, you got to preserve and help your own self. Let's see. After 38 years of marriage, take half of the money I give her to pay bills. I hope the divorce court will set up payment so I have no contact at all. Any suggestions? Well, you might, Mr. Nate, you might be able to, you can, you talk to the court system to see if they have some type of payment plan where you can or either you can do a monthly allotment that just comes out of your account to go straight into her account where you don't have to have any contact with her. Or just an automatic payment that goes into her account. But they have something set up where you don't have to have no contact, have contact with her. Set up an allotment so it just comes out, and then at least it's coming out of your account and you can keep up with it so that they know that she's being paid. Let's see. Did I miss something over here? Let me look. Narc family will guilt trip you. Take care of yourself. Exactly. Let's look. Miss Shirley said, he did say his dad used to beat him and lock him in closets when he was a child. He stayed depressed all the time. All he wants to do is sleep and sit in the house. He stay on his phone, and he's very antisocial and seems to be bipolar against everyone. Well, Shirley, you answering your own question. You said that you have that gut instinct. You answering your own question that you are probably dealing with a narcissist. You are probably dealing with a narcissist. Bipolar, okay, remember I told you, bipolar can also, okay, so when people are in a manic episode of bipolar, that manic episode looks just like narcissism. They have that grandiosity, they have that that sense of entitlement, they have those symptoms of narcissism. However, in bipolar, when they're in a manic or hypomanic episode, that usually lasts 3 to 4 days. Then you'll see them drop again into major depressive disorder for the next 2 or 3 weeks, and then it goes right back up. And so bipolar disorder can have the features of narcissism, but it changes. Narcissism never changes. And you have right there what you were saying was his dad used to beat him, locked him in closets when he was a child. There goes your trauma. I guarantee you when he gets angry, he probably acts like the child that age where his father was abusing him. So he's got trauma in his past. So he's got childhood trauma that has probably altered his personality. He's got childhood trauma that affected him. So 9 times out of 10, everything that you just said in the last conversation, everything you're saying right here, if I had to be a judge of it, he's probably the narcissist. So he's making the other person look like the narcissist. You're dealing with a narcissist, Shirley. And then you said that you have that feeling. Everything in your mind was telling you that this is a narcissist. You're probably dealing with a narcissist. You got to go with your gut instinct. You got to go with that first instinct. All these videos that I've made, you picked up on the symptoms. You've asked the questions. You're picking up on the symptoms. Don't second guess yourself. You were already in a relationship with a narcissist before. And when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, the one thing that they're going to do is they're going to make you feel crazy. They're going to gaslight you. They're going to make you second guess, and a narcissist picks a person that is pretty, let's think. There's something about you that narcissist that wants or likes. There's something that they admire and they want from you, whether it's prestige, money, intelligence, friendships, something about you that they want because they'll never have. So something about you that they want. So you got to be careful, because Shirley, I think you're dealing with a narcissist. Everything that you said points to a narcissist. Mr. Nate said, been at the gym and people have noticed my change. Because you're healing. Because you're healing. You done got away from the narcissist and you're about to go through a divorce. You said you're feeling better. You feel healthy, starting to come back to yourself, starting to get healthy again, because you've disconnected with a toxic person. That's like a bad drug. You've disconnected with a unhealthy person, a toxic person, but you're healing, Mr. Nate. You're doing it. Please read my statement I wrote before the one you just read, because it really got my attention. Don't feel stupid. If you don't know, how you gonna feel stupid? If your breath stink and nobody tell you, how you gonna know your breath stunk? Unless somebody say, hey, Shirley, girl, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings or nothing like that. You're my girl, but your breath stink, but I don't want anybody to talk about you. But if you never know, you're gonna breathe in folks' face, right? Now, that might be humorous, but the point is, if no one ever taught you about a narcissist or told you anything about a narcissist, there's no reason to feel stupid, because they're pretty smooth at what they do. They come in pretty smooth. So don't feel stupid. Surely half of the people that are on whether it's YouTube or whether it's over on Facebook, majority of us have been through it. There's no reason to feel stupid. Don't feel stupid. You're learning, and the more that you learn, the more conscious you are, and the more people you have to support you here is the more people you tell us, and then people are going to comment and talk to you. People are going to let you know. They're going to build your strength back up. You're going to start understanding the signs and symptoms. Just keep on watching the videos, but please don't feel stupid. Don't feel stupid, okay? If you don't know better, how you going to do better? If you don't know what it's like to be with a narcissist, you're just learning. You keep learning, okay? You keep learning. Don't worry about it. Don't feel stupid. Nobody's judging you. Majority of the people on here told you they've been in a relationship like that. Half of the statements I read over here, they're telling you about what they've been in. You're not the only one. Let's see. Did I miss something? Ms. Riri said, religious narcs are on the rise. They love to use scripture to hoover you. Oh, they love that position of power. You've got when you're dealing with religious narcissists, you got to remember, people are coming, they're looking for something to believe in. They're looking for, I understand that everybody, is not a Christian. Everybody has their own belief system, but most people are looking for a higher power. They're looking for, and so you got to remember, when you're dealing with people that are wide open, they're hurting, they're looking for something outside of themselves. They're looking for something greater than themselves. Well, you get a narcissist within the religious, and that's any religious organization, that when they go in, it's like oh my gosh, that's like, you guys are all narc bait now. That right there is like a feeding frenzy to a narcissist. So many hurting people, emotionally hurting people, people that are coming in and looking for something. They're looking for someone to trust. They're looking for someone to speak to their pain, wide open. And they're just walking around, everybody becomes a pick of the litter, pick of the litter, pick of the litter. Now, I'm not saying all religious institutions, but a lot of them, yes, narcissists like positions of power. They like to have a supply readily available. And what's the best place? Within a religious setting? Absolutely. Absolutely. You got many hurting people that are looking for something, and they become that hero. They become that hero. Hola, como di, doctor? Hold on, I can't speak the language. Bendiciones desde Panama, but leaving at Philadelphia. Okay, this is Marquela from Panama. Hey there. I know it's hola. I know it's how are you, doctor? And then the rest, I don't know what you said. I went no contact with my narc family 6 years ago. I went through a lot of spiritual warfare, but I did anyway. I'm growing and healing in every way. Now I know why it was necessary I disconnected. Because you had to heal, Miss Jackson. There's no sense, it's like the what is it, the crab in the pot theory. You trying to get out the pot and they trying to hold you in, but you got to preserve yourself. You got to help your own self. You got to heal, and that's terrible when you're coming from a toxic family. The thing about it is, and I think I talked about this in another video. Yes, Riri said ongoing supply for narcs in a religious setting. Absolutely. Who was I just talking to? Let me look. Miss Jackson. I talked about it in, I think, in another video, and I was saying that when you come from a toxic family, when you come from a family, a lot of times narcissistic families or abusive families, they have, what's the word? They have groomed you. They have desensitized you to a point where the abnormal things that they were doing is almost normal. So you're desensitized, meaning that when you have someone to devalue you, when you have someone to, the way that they talk to you, they scream and yell, certain things that when you're in a toxic family and you begin to date or you go out into the world, you're desensitized to because you've been groomed a certain way. Really, it has made you vulnerable again. And so what one person may not look at as normal, and they're telling you like, no, that's not normal, right? In your family, if that is something that was normal in your family, you've been desensitized to accept it when you get into a relationship. And so sometimes you don't know that that's not normal until people have to convince you that that's not normal. And then you're looking at your own family like, but that's how my family did it. That's because you have literally been desensitized to, if you've been abused and you have learned to function and you get into a relationship, those things that are abnormal become normal to you. So you really have been groomed into accepting bad behavior because you didn't know any better. You didn't know it. So a lot of you guys have become very susceptible to narcissists. I'm not saying that it's a good feeling, but it made it easier. You're hurt, you're wide open, you're bleeding all over the place, your emotions are all over the place, you're very sensitive, you want to be loved, you want to be valued, you want a relationship, you want intimacy, all those things that you desire, that narcissist will sense. And that narcissist will become everything that you desire. Everything that you desire, the narcissist will become. That's why that trauma bonding is so powerful, because they'll fill in the gaps of all the holes in your heart. And then when they pull out is these gaping holes. And it's, remember I talked about, it's like losing oxygen underwater. You're like, "Oh, I can't breathe." And you start panicking. Then they come back and put the air back on your face. Then they pull the air back off and you're panicking. This is that trauma bonding. That's what they do. That's what they do. But they look for all the holes in your heart and the pain. And then we talk too much a lot of times, especially when you come from and you've been hurting and you come from families that are toxic and you're hurting, you're bleeding all over the place. You're bleeding all over the place. And so they pick up on that. They smell it. They smell that pain. An animal can smell an infection in a human being, or an animal can smell infection or injury in another animal. A narcissist can smell injury inside of you. A narcissist can smell injury in your heart. That's how keen they are. And then we tell it. That just confirms what they already assume. That's how we become prey. Let's look. Did I miss anything? That's right, Miss Vanessa. You encourage her. Hey, LaTanya, how are you? Welcome. Let's see. I keep making this thing bigger. No wonder. I'm trying to scroll up and my face getting bigger in the screen, you guys. Why do you say something? Okay, let's look. Miss Donna said, learning so much, healing and feeling so much better. That is so awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You guys are always welcome. Blessings. Wait a minute. Bendiciones? Did I say that right, Miss Nancy? Bendiciones. Blessings. Bendiciones. Blessings. Bendiciones. Got it. I'm going to try to keep pronouncing that. Bendiciones. Blessings. Bendiciones. See you, mad bro. I've come across you a time or two, and I like your show. I'm just wondering the schedule. Oh, okay. Well, is it you mad bro? I like that. I like that handle. I usually record during the week, Tuesday through Friday. And I post all my pre-recorded videos Tuesday through Friday. Then on Sundays between 8 and 9 Pacific Standard Time, I usually come on live and open up so you guys can ask me questions, because when I pre-record, it's not open for questions unless you post something on there. But on Sundays, I usually come on live so you guys can come and talk to me and ask me questions. So hopefully that answers your question, sir. I'm excited for that. I know I'm excited for it too. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see. Miss Dainty said he told me one day I would get the love that I'm dying for. See? Just say that. So it's not like they don't know what's going on with you. So you're dying for love. He picked up on that. Think about it. He picked up on that. So see, told you guys, right? They know your weakness because we tell them and then you present it. You could tell when somebody is desperate for a relationship or desperate to be loved, and that's what they hone in on. The pronunciation was right. Oh, okay. Mr. Nate said I was dealing with a religious narcissist. I felt she was really trying to control me. Absolutely, she was trying to control you. Anything that a psychologist will do is exactly what they would do. Lynette said, I lost 77 pounds since August dealing with my narc. See? Stress. Stress will tear your body up. Ms. Jackson said, get your finances together because they will use that against you. That's right, Shirley. And Just Be Real said, loser. I know you meant loser. Lots of buffering. So the channel's buffering. I'm sorry, you guys. My ex said he keeps sticking. Hold on. Queenie said, my ex said he keeps sticking in my hair like chewing gum. He's telling you though, even though they use little funny sayings and stuff, he's telling you, you can't get chewing gum out till you cut your hair. But at the same time, they think that you're theirs forever. In their minds, you theirs forever. Miss Dainty said, my mom never showed me affection growing up. So see, you're desperate for affection. She wasn't showed love as a child. My mom was neglected by her mom and raised by her dad. So see, she lacked affection. So how can she show you affection? Now you lack affection and you're desperate for affection. So guess what the narcissist does? He hones in on not your insecurity, on that weakness that you desire affection. So they give you affection when they love bomb you, and they give you so much affection that it's too good to be true. If it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. There's no such thing as a perfect person, but they done gave you so much affection that it caused you to love to trauma bond with them. And then the way that he hurts you is he pulls that affection back, because that's where you need to heal, Dainty. That's where you need to heal. It keeps freezing. I'm sorry, y'all. Hey, RN, how are you, sir? How can we fix it? The freezing, I don't know how to fix the freezing. Yes, they're creepy. Let's see. Nate said, love the gift you have. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much. I'm honored, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you. I share that gift with you guys. Thank you so much. He said he will make me strong. No, he ain't going to make you strong. He going to make you weak. He going to tear you up. And narcissists will tear you up from the head, from the heart, from all you. See, I believe, me as a therapist, I believe in the whole person concept. And I know everybody has their own separate beliefs. I understand that. My belief system, and in my counseling agency, I believe in the whole person concept. I believe in your soul, which is your body, your mind, your will, your thoughts, your emotions. I believe in the spirit, your spirit, and I believe in the body. And I think all three need to be healed. Soul care, you can come to counseling. A therapist deals with the soul, your emotions, your mindset, to change your mind, to help your emotions, to help you heal. Spirit, that would be where those of you would have to connect to whatever religious organizations that you believe, whatever your belief system is. As a Christian, church pastors, ministers, and for those of you that are into other beliefs, I'm not sure, but that's that spiritual care. And your body, what you eat, working out, making sure you're healthy, getting rest, coping skills, massages. So I believe in the whole person concept when it comes to healing. In the agency, when I work in the agency, you have to remember that I'm not hired by insurance companies to be anybody's preacher, so I have to go by what their belief system is to connect them where they need to be connected. I have people that come in that are Wiccans, there are people that come in that are Buddhists, and there are people that come in that are Christians, whatever their belief is, that's your belief. Then spiritually, I'll connect you with your spiritual belief. The soul part, I'll work with your mind, I'll work with your emotions. We deal with medications to get you healthy in that area. And when it comes to your body, I may refer you to medical. I may refer you to some type of, work on eating, work on going to the gym and helping. And so That's my belief system. And so I believe that in order to heal, those are the three things you have to focus on. Those are the three things you have to focus on, because that is what the narcissist focused on. That is what the narcissist focused on. And if you don't get those three, if you don't check all those three, you can't do one without doing the other. And you can't do the other without doing the other. So it's the whole person concept. Let's see. Ms. Dainty said, trying to figure out if one of my parents is a narc. His abuse is what I knew and what was familiar. It took me 3 years to leave, accepting dysfunctional as love. But see, dysfunctional, your family made dysfunction look like love, meaning that when you got with that narcissist, dysfunction became love. And so it makes it harder to leave, because just like with your family, that's what you saw. And so that's what you believe. Okay, he may have some issues, but I can work with him. I can mold him. I can love him out of a situation. A narcissist is not going to change. But see how the family foundation, the foundation of your youth, the foundation of what you come in is the foundation of what you go into. If you didn't learn anything else, that's exactly what you go right back into, and you accept something that's not acceptable, put it that way. But if you don't know, if you don't know, if no one ever taught you, you can't blame yourself, because you just don't know. Now you know, because we're teaching you. There are coaches on here that are teaching you. And those of you that have asked me, you've inboxed me and you've asked me specific questions in reference to Christianity, my belief about the spiritual side of narcissism. My mentor, if you guys are on my Facebook page, I have posted videos from my mentor. She's my mentor. She's my life coach, has been for almost 12 years. Those of you that are still interested in inquiring, and if you are Christian belief system, you're a believer. She is the presiding prelate of Into His Chambers Global Ministries. She's a life coach as well, and her YouTube channel is Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper. And so you can go over there. She does talk about narcissism. That's not her only topic, but she does talk about narcissism. So some of you that have inboxed me to ask me questions, I recommend going over to her Facebook page so that you can get that portion of the healing as well. For those of you that are on my Facebook page, I have posted videos where she's able to expound more when it comes, because she is a senior pastor and has other ministries under her. She mentors and counsels bishops and apostles and ministry leaders and all sorts of leaders. And so she is very well versed and will give you information. She does come on live. Let me think. She comes on live Tuesday through Saturday. If you guys would like to catch her on YouTube or on Facebook, she is under I think the church is Apostle Helen under Facebook, or you can go to the YouTube. She does come on live on YouTube. Let me make sure I got it right again. It's Tuesday through Saturday. And usually for some of you guys that are many hours ahead, she usually comes on between like 2 o'clock in the morning. So for some of you guys, you're just going to work. And so, excuse me, you guys. So for some of you guys that want to hear that part, you guys go and you're healing, meaning the spiritual side, go over there, because many of you guys have emailed me to ask me to talk about specific topics. I try to stick more to the clinical side of the house, but she has the freedom to talk more on the spiritual side of the house. And she's a senior pastor, presiding prelate. So you guys are open. If you come on live, she's on live. You can ask her questions as well. And so I'm not going to stay on much longer because I need to go eat, and it's getting late. And I know some of you guys, thank you, Jesus, for this education. Oh, thank you so much, Riri. I appreciate you. Well, hey there, Sandy from the UK. I told you I'm coming to the UK. I promise you I'm coming one day. I sure am. In the youth development years is when this info would actually change lives. Too many things in life have to be inferred. We need to stop worrying about feelings and direct teach kids this stuff. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. We got to catch them in their young. Lisa Hurst said Apostle Helen and Dr. Bryce, Apostle Helen Sadler is Apostle Helen on Facebook, and is Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper on YouTube. That is my mentor. That is my mentor. That is my life coach. That is my pastor. And I honor her. And you guys are, please go over to, go look on her YouTube channel. You guys, subscribe to her channel. For those of you that are looking for, besides the clinical portion, yes, it is Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper. For those of you guys that are looking for her, please go over there and subscribe to her channel. And I guarantee you, if you listen to my YouTube videos, you'll get the clinical side. I will provide you with the clinical side. Those of you that are asking for the spiritual side, if you go to her YouTube channel, you'll get the spiritual side. I promise you this, if you balance it out, I guarantee you, you're going to heal. It's going to take time, but you're going to heal. She speaks more than just about narcissism. She does talk about narcissism, but she talks way more than just narcissism. That's not her only topic. And so for those of you that need to be healed, that need more encouragement in the spiritual side, if you are a believer, if you're a Christian, then you go over to her. Even if you're not, go over there and listen to the principles of what she's talking about. And I guarantee you, if you balance it out, I guarantee you, you're going to heal. You will heal. I give you the clinical side of the house, and she's going to give you the spiritual side of the house. And you put us two together. Normally I post, and she comes on about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning. For some of you guys, we're all believers. Otherwise, we're not here. Well, there you go, Mr. Aryan. But she's usually on between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning. So for some of you guys, like in the UK and in Canada and over in Europe, a lot of you guys are just going to work in early. So it'll be early for you guys when she comes on. And then usually I post Tuesday through Friday. I post, but I pre-post. So you guys can always come back and watch mine. And then she also leaves hers up so you can watch hers. So hopefully this has helped you guys tonight. I'm gonna go. I'm getting ready to go so I can go eat, and I can go lay down too. Because once again, my nose is getting stopped up, so I'm getting tired. That's usually when I know that I'm tired. I go with my gut instinct. You are so welcome, Mr. Zach. Let's see. When you said you see dysfunction as love, you hit something that's right. I mean, if that's all you've ever known, dysfunction in your mind was love. Until you find out, you look back and be like, wait a minute, my family was totally dysfunctional. And that's what a lot of people do. Oh my gosh, my family was dysfunctional. And this is what they taught me what love was. And then you find out that wasn't even love. And then some people hurt even more when they realize, like, my parents did not have the capacity to love me. That's a very painful realization. When they did not have the capacity to love you or know how to love you. Even when they haven't been loved right, they don't know how to reciprocate love. Nut Kelly said, listening to you is so therapeutic. Thank you so much for taking your time every week to be with us. I'm really honored. I truly am honored. Someone did it for me, and I'm definitely doing it for you guys. So I'm honored. Thank you. And thank you guys for trusting me. Because, not everybody is trustworthy. Not everybody that calls himself a coach is a coach. So Angel Grace put down Apostle Helen's link. So if you guys are interested in going to her channel, please do. Please do. Go to Angel Grace posted her link. So you guys can click on that link and put it and save it. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. So she comes on faithfully as well. Faithfully as well. So you can go to sleep on her voice as well. Thank you so much, Miss Donna. I appreciate it. So you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off. This time I didn't make it to 100,000 minutes. I'm at 85. So that's a whole, hour and 20 minutes? So really, really, really am honored that you guys come and join me on I know, right? I'm so honored you guys would join me on Sunday evenings. You guys are faithful. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so, so much for trusting me, with your hearts, trusting me with your stories. Thank you so much, Angel Grace. Thank you for all the stories you share with me, for opening yourself up. Thank you for trusting that I'm not a narcissist, because I am not. And narcissists would not admit that they are narcissists anyway, but I am not a narcissist. So you guys know that. And if you're healing from these videos, that let you know that it's doing something for you. You listen to a narcissist video, they probably ain't healing you at all. HD Tudor is a narcissist, and he does some excellent teaching. But the problem is that most of you guys get triggered listening to him. You can't listen to him. Thank you so much, Aryan. But he triggers a lot of you. Some of you can't even listen to him, so you're dealing with a narcissist. That voice is hypnotic. The stuff that he's saying is true, but a lot of you get triggered because he's saying it like he's saying it. The narc said what? Oh, I missed it. But thank you guys for trusting me. Push buttons. Yeah, I mean, no, he pushes buttons. Yeah, you're right. HG Tudor will push buttons, and it just lets you know how they think. The way that he thinks, the way that he talks. Thank you so much, Miss Melanie. I sure will eat. I'm going to rest while I'm eating. I'm going to lay down and eat. But thank you guys so much for trusting me. Thank you so much. You and your mentor are a blessing. I'm healing nicely. So you listen to SH? You listen to my mentor as well? That is so awesome. Thank you. I'm honored. Thank you for trusting me with giving you that information. Love you. Just came on. I have to listen to everything later. So that's okay, Freedom. That's all right. That's okay. So you guys go to her channel as well, okay? And I promise you this one thing. If you stay diligent, if you listen to me, listen to her, listen to me, and I guarantee you, if you get that penicillin in your system, you get that medicine in your system, you'll begin to heal. You'll begin to heal. Oh, you do? Oh, okay. Yep, that is my mentor, y'all. So now you guys know who mentors me. So when I go and tell on y'all, I go tell her. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm really, really honored. Thank you guys for joining me this evening. I'm going to take these eyelashes off so I can see and I can eat. Thank you guys so much. So you guys stay tuned. I'll be back on Tuesday to post more videos, okay? I got some more topics to talk about. I hope you guys have an awesome week. Thank you and have a great week. Thank you. Wait a minute, Riri, what do you mean till next Sunday? You ain't gonna listen to my videos during the week? Have a good night too, Just Be Real. And thank you so much for being a moderator. And thank you so much, Soaring Feather, for being a moderator for me. I'm going to keep you guys as moderators. So even when TMG comes back, it'll be all three of you guys that'll be moderators for me. Thank you so much for volunteering to do that for me. I appreciate you guys. Good night, Soaring Feather. Thank you guys so much. You guys have a wonderful evening. I hope you have a beautiful week. You guys go and be great. Take care of yourselves, okay? You guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Good night, you guys.